Hello, how are you, YouTuber? How you doing? My name is Will. I'm talking to you about stress. The reason why people are having stress and how to manage it. Stress is part of life, and there's nothing you can do about it. But there are ways of how to manage stress. So, and as I said, stress happens or occurs in our body when these chemicals increases its quantity in our bodies. And I'm going to say these chemicals again. And these are natural chemicals in the body. The first one is cortisol. The second one is epinephrine. And the third one is norepinephrine. So what happens is that these chemicals in our body produces large quantity to make us to assess the situation at that time, what we should do or what we can do. He says either fight or flight. Fight or flight. So you see your adrenaline pumping, whether to fight or flight. And what happens is that you have an alertness. You have your blood pressure up. Your breathing becomes shallow and fast breathing, getting your body ready for what will happen. So all these are the chemicals that is pumping the large quantity in our body to make us to make a decision. And unfortunately, no matter where you are in life, whether you're a billionaire, whether you're a multi-millionaire, whether you're a millionaire, whether you're a thousandaire, whether you're a hundredaire, life is that you will have stress. It's just part of life. But you can look at ways to manage it. And most of these mentors that I've seen, they manage it. You know, people like John Assaraf, you see them constantly doing the meditations. They do meditations. They take a deep breath to calm their body down, to calm their system down, and they do it every day. They have time that they apportion to themselves or set aside to do the breathing exercise to help them to calm down. Because it's not every threat that you see in front of you that is a real threat. It can be a perceived threat. Because your mind, the way it's made is that when you see something in front of you as a threat, it could be a perceived threat, not a real threat. So the mind go to your memory. Okay? So your amygdala is responsible for disgust, fear, anxieties, worry, all the different negative, about 8 of them. And then it goes, it says, hey, let us check. Have you experienced this type of threat before? So if he can't find it, he look for something similar, some similarity in the past. And that similarity, most of the time, is not the same as the circumstances and situation that you are experiencing in front of you. But your brain, should I say deceive you, he goes and bring that threat. He said, this is a threat, you've seen similar. But your responsibility, because you are not your brain, you are not your heart. Yes, you are not your heart, you are not your brain. So it is your responsibility to take a deep breath and ask yourself, is this real threat or is this perceived threat? So it's your responsibility to actually study yourself and find out yourself whether this is a real threat or this is a perceived threat. So your immune system is there to help you to fight, to flight, or to take a deep breath and assess the situation, making sure that you are making the best judgment with regards to the circumstances and situation in front of you. Now we know that we have what we call acute stress, and acute stress could be an argument. It could be also an assignment or a job deadlines. Then you have what we call chronic stress, could be constant financial problems, family abused, family problems, poverty, difficulties. So you want to avoid not having to repeat or allow the stress to repeat itself all the time without you looking for ways of how to address these issues. Because if you do, what happens is that it affects your cardiovascular. Once it keep affecting your cardiovascular, it keep affecting your respiratory system, it keep affecting your sleeping problem, keep affecting, bear with me, keep affecting your immune system, they keep affecting your reproductive system, then your body is supposed to be looking after all this system. But if your body sees this threat and you're not able to manage it, then what happens? Your body will prioritize and go to manage the stress. And every part of this place that I just mentioned to you, your cardiovascular, respiratory system, your sleep, your immune, your reproductive system, your body will prioritize, and it will not support all of this system I've just mentioned. It will try to support and look after the stress. So what happened? All of this system is not receiving the support that he or she needs. And what happened? Before long, you got things like stroke. Things like stroke. They say there is a link between chronic heart disease to stress, particularly consistent stress. So this is something that you have to look after. You have to look after yourself. So tomorrow I'm going to list some of the things that you can do that will help you to look after yourself. Believe you me, I too experience stress. But as I listen to people like John, as I listen to people like Les Brown, as I listen to people like, what's his name? Brian Tracy, as I listen to people like Darren Hardy, as I listen to all of these motivational speakers, particularly John, the way he talks about how to manage the stress level. So your inner sizes. So now I'm really happy that I'm managing my stress level, because now I look at my stress, I said, is this threats, a real threat or a perceived threat? What is the highest thing that can happen to me? So I take a deep breath and I plan, knowing that there will always be problems, but my responsibility is to put things in place to manage the problem. And it's just life. Even animals, they're under stress. The gazelle and the lion, when he sees the lion, all of his adrenaline pumps up. He can't fight the lion, so he flies. And he runs far away from the lion. That time is all his immune system is serious stress. But the moment you run away from the lion, that's the good thing about animals. It comes into a stage where we call homeostasis in neuroscience. Homeostasis means it's a place of calm because he has passed that threat. But we human beings, we don't tend to learn to come to a place of peace and rest if we are not taught, if we don't practice. So, stress will be there. But what can you do to manage it so that you are able to live a life that is more peaceful, so that your immune system will operate and support you, not supporting the perceived threats, and leaving all those cardiovascular, respiratory system, sleep, immune, reproductiveness, because all those things, they need to be supported by your body. So, but if your body keeps saying, wow, this is a threat, it will prioritize and it will not help all of this immune system. You don't want that to happen. It's like drinking. Do you know, this is true now, biology. Do you know when you drink, it's poison. Yeah, it's chemicals. When you drink, it's chemical. So what happens if you eat and you drink strong drink? You know what happens? Your immune system, your body will prioritize over the food and the drinking. So your body will leave the food because the food is not a threat. Because your body understands it's not a threat. Your body will go to excrete those toxins that you're putting into your mouth. I don't drink anyway because, it's... see, understanding enlightens you. When you understand things, that is why I love knowledge. Knowledge is potential power. The application of knowledge is power. Knowledge is very important. That is why I like to read. When you drink, your body prioritizes your food. Your food is not a threat, so your body go to resolve the threat, which is the drink. So you know what happened? Then that food is put aside. It's not being digested. Can you see that? It goes into different compartment of your body. That food's supposed to be digested by your body, but when it sees the threat, the drink, he goes to resolve the issues of the drink, the poison. I'm not saying don't drink. I'm just trying to tell you the way it operates. So then he prioritizes for the drink because the drink is poison, and he goes. Then what happens? Those food that you ate is not prioritized. So what I'm trying to say to you is that don't shoot the messenger now. I'm not saying to you don't drink. I'm just trying to tell you that there are ways you can manage your body, manage stress. See, let me tell you something. Anything in this world, I don't care the problem. It can be resolved. Let me advise you. The first thing you need to do in life, always be grateful. Point number one, always be grateful. Point number two, associate with people who are rulers of cities, of boroughs. Associate with people who know where they are going. Because if you associate with people who are rulers, people who are intelligent, people who are reasonable, it will rub off of you. It will rub off. And then read to update your skills. Number one, be grateful, gratitude. Don't complain. Whenever you are seeing yourself complaining, go and count the things that you have. You say, count your blessings. Whenever your mind is telling you, look at it now, oh, look at this, your mate could have gone further down the road, oh, don't follow that mind. You know what will happen according to neuroscience? Your brain will fire, 100 billions will fire, complaining, and then what happens? You get more complaining. According to quantum physics, you fire negative energy, you got more negative energy. So don't complain. Be grateful, number one. Number two, look for people who have been to where you are going or are going there, who know what they are doing. Associate with them. Number three, read and practice your interest in life. I want to wish you all the best. This is Wayne. Bye-bye.